We got some really great action for you. We want to get you tuned in here. We're going to give you a special treat tonight. We're going to get you live and on the line with our special guest. I'm going to get him on the phone now. You're going to really enjoy this spot. And just give me one more minute here. We are going live in the red zone with the ANBA. And welcome to the QFFL Now. Is this Mr. Lawrence from the ANBA?
Commissioner, good evening and thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm glad to have you. Thanks for giving us a couple minutes on the QFFL Now.
Just want to let you know I appreciate being on such a balanced attack that you provide for this league.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. So, we talked a little bit about last week's action, and, you know, we wanted to get your take on the way you see things around the league, and so maybe you can kind of take us through some of the things you're hearing out there as our QFFL insider.
Commissioner, I'd be glad to do so. Just a couple of points around the league. As the correspondent here, I just want to let you know that first issue and talking point is the economy. Many teams have expressed to me behind closed doors here that the economy is certainly affecting their ability to run their franchises. I have a particular word out of the Fighting Commodes camp. There's actually a very strong possibility that the Commodes will be losing the naming rights to their franchise.
Wow.
After 3 consecutive heartbreaking years and tons of money spent on transactions and dealings throughout the league.
Wow.
Rumor that they actually will have to drop the word fighting.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's some interesting stuff. I didn't hear that. That's good information.
Very crushing news, and it might be appropriate with their salary cap situation going into next year anyway. But also news that there is a possibility, word out of the New England state of Maine.
Wow.
There might be some financial lending, some possible contribution from Brother.
A little bailout package, maybe.
Potentially.
Interesting.
Quite insulated these days, and the Brahma Bulls of the past, a solid member of the franchise. The Commodes might have to go up north, maybe even relocate the franchise for a little while to recoup.
Interesting. Interesting stuff. Okay. Well, what else do you have for us in the rumor mill?
I also have word, actually, this is firsthand, and some very troubling news on the all-natural big action renegotiation front. Ownership not enjoying these large numbers that are going to have to be spent to the contribution pool this year.
Well, it is a rebuilding year, it looks like.
Renegotiation very slow. Possible word of perhaps a buyout, early retirement, golden parachute, trying to work things out on the home front here.
Well, I wish you luck with that. I know it's never easy. You know, owners can be a little fickle, so you got to try to you got to produce. I mean, that's the name of this league, right? What have you done for me lately? So, I wish you luck.
Thank you, Commissioner.
So, what do you have for us as far as maybe a little last week action and what you see coming up for the semifinal weekend? What do you got for us? Talk about it.
The word on the street is that the Boogie Knights are really storming the QFFL. Vegas right now has the game between the Swarming Aztecs and the Boogie Knights at almost a pick'em game.
Wow, wow.
Despite the fact that the Swarming Aztecs are coming in here as the #1 seed with a big home game.
Wow.
First playoff game in several years after many disappointing showings the past couple of years here.
And you know, I haven't heard from the Aztecs in about a couple weeks, it seems like. They've been awful quiet. Have you heard anything from them?
Well, after that ridiculous video showing, it's been awful quiet outside of the Yes We Can mantra. There have been a couple of appointments, but it is actually a very embarrassing situation now that the Aztecs have reached out to the Boogie Knights as their vice presidential candidate. Now they will have to withdraw that due to conflict of interest, and behind the scenes, the Boogie Knights have expressed to me and their camp that they are extremely confident that the Aztecs have no shot this weekend.
Wow, bold. That's some interesting stuff. That's Well, I'll tell you, the Boogie Knights, they backed it up last week. I mean, that game was never close last week.
I have to tell you, kudos go out to the Boogie Knights franchise, even though really by accident they were caught in the bidding war for Chris Johnson in the draft, as you may remember.
I do.
Several failed bids on guys like Marion Barber, Steven Jackson, and you know, when you see two contestants like the Dream Team and the Big Action bidding on a young stud running back, I think teams will learn that it's in their best interest to get in there and make the bid. Chris Johnson certainly has made a difference this year for Boogie Knights.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Well, anything else you want to give us before we get moving with our show tonight? Again, we appreciate you getting on here with us in our second edition here. I know you got some things you wanted to mention about realignment, maybe?
I did. Before I do that, on the other side of the bracket, the Warriors, with a couple of lineup issues this week, I know they are leaning heavily on Brett Favre. Rumor has it that they might be looking at the waiver wire for a potential breaking wide receiver to potentially jump in and make a difference this week.
That's breaking news.
Without tipping the Warriors' hand, I can tell you that it would be a very interesting scenario where a Heinz Ward or Bernard Berry would be benched for a particular receiver.
Wow.
Off the waiver wire. Camp that I've been hearing.
Wow.
You know, on the spiritual level, I really don't know what the Warriors are going to be able to do in the face of what is simply a inhuman and godly situation that's going on with the Champy-led Stormtroopers.
No question about it.
Leading into proportions of a dynasty unseen in the QFFL. I can tell you that word out of Tuna Camp is that he is extremely nervous that he will be really resigned to the kids' table of the Champions Club in the event that the champs are able to pull off the back-to-back, belly-to-belly.
Wow! Well, the march towards immortality continues for the Stormtroopers. They are really showing the entire league that they are not some kind of lucky... That's right, Obi-Wan. The Force will be with them, and they have shown that they are not luck, but actually, luck has nothing to do with 3 out of 4 years if they pull this off. Don't you agree?
Commissioner, feeling a little bit nauseous right now. Maybe the connection. You know, quick word on realignment. You know, I have ordered that there will be an announcement regarding realignment, perhaps on the date of the Super Bowl. National Football League.
All right.
We do look forward to that announcement. I know that the Rules Committee has convened, and it does not appear like we'll be able to have enough votes to stick the Long Island contingent upon itself. Despite popular belief that that would be a very suitable ending to what has been a very well documented and perhaps raucous year in that contingent. But I do have news that perhaps we should stay tuned for realignment. And a very exciting conclusion to that may be announced by way of Super Bowl Sunday. Excellent.
Well, I appreciate that breaking news. We'll look for that as the months unfold here as we get closer to that date. And we appreciate you taking the time with us on QFFL Now in our first In the Red Zone with the ANBA edition. Hopefully we can do this again.
Commissioner, thank you for having me. We'll keep you up to date.
Thanks very much. Talk to you soon, Lawrence.
Take care now.
Bye-bye. All right, there you have it. Lawrence Maurizio on the Red Zone and coming to you live tonight.